Hello, everyone, and welcome to the live virtual classes by the Board of Studies. We are back with another session on a weekend. Thanks for joining in. I see a lot of you have joined in. Very happy to see all of you. I see Shravani, Pranav is there. Pranav was the first one to join us. Sorry, Pranav. Hello. Hello, Neeru. How are you? Hello, Tambeshwari, Nitin, Hardik, Ramalakshmi. Hope all good. Hello, Ajay. Hello, Pranav, the second one. We have two Pranavs. Hello, Manisha. Very good morning to you as well. Hope everything is fine. Revisions are going wonderful. Before I start, my only question is, how are the revisions going for other subjects and SM as well? Are you at revision? Are you still studying, or how's it going? How's the preparation going? How confident are you? Hello, Shravani from Visakhapatnam. Hello from Delhi. It's 11 degrees for us. Too cold for us. Hopefully, nice weather for you. For SM, all chapters first reading done. Awesome. Revision is very difficult. It's always difficult. It's always the boring part. Just started. Awesome. Hello, Anuradha. A very good morning. Going good. Great. Other subjects are also, it's a generic answer, going good. Do you feel confident about other subjects? Do you feel you need more preparation? Do you feel it's going to be like tough? Time nahi hai, time zyada hai, bahut time hai. There has to be more answer to than just saying good. Good matlab kya hai? Not even started. If you're saying good, that means you're not even started. Yeah. Absolutely. You have to spend more time for tax. That's your weak points. Okay, you'll have to do that. Less time, more topics. Always the problem, or I would say the challenge with CA courses, more topics, less time, always. It's always there. You need a very, very dedication, but you're lazy in doing that. More time for audit and tax. Everybody eventually wants more time in audit and tax. They are one of the most demanding subjects because of the width and the depth of the subject. Time but kam hai but kar lenge. I like the attitude. I like that positive thing, Nitin. Very good. What we're doing is chapter number 5, which is the last chapter, last 2 or 3 topics left for in the chapter. What we'll do is we'll complete a chapter today. That means we complete a syllabus today. We'll get into do the revision test paper, RTP karenge aaj. We'll do an RTP. We'll do a past year question paper if time allows. And what I'm going to do tomorrow is a full syllabus revision with you guys. The first star is going to be a full subject revision. The second one is going to be a case study and how to write answers. As I have always promised, that you got to wait till the last session to probably see how to write answers and probably the case scenario. Okay. We completed chapter number 5 today. We look at an RTP. Okay. If you will come up very soon. Okay. Most likely today. So tomorrow we will do our session on complete revision, case scenario, and how to write an answer. Okay. But today we need to complete our chapter number 5, which is almost there. We'll do that. Yes, most likely, Manisha. I have more sessions scheduled, but most likely tomorrow's session would be the last one, though we have another one next week. But because we have completed the syllabus well on time, so I'll give you more time and I'll grant you more time for your practice and revision and not hold on to you for another session. Okay. I'll let you know that tomorrow. So everybody who's joining in today, please join in tomorrow. Most likely we'll conclude at the entire syllabus tomorrow and I'll keep you informed for sure. Okay. So please join in tomorrow. Let your friends know if they're watching these classes. If your friends are watching, let them know to join tomorrow's class for sure. It's most likely going to be the last one, but I'll tell you tomorrow. Okay, the final thing. Let's get into what we are doing today, right? That's chapter number 5. Okay, we talked about implementation. Yes, it will. We'll talk about implementation. We talked about evaluation. We were talking about strategic change through digital transformation, the organizational structures, the hard and soft, the McKinsey 7S. We were talking about how the implementation and evaluation are interlinked. How do we talk about these two topics which are interlinked? Which ones to do first? Which ones to do later? Right? There were certain interesting things that we came up with was the operational planning, the strategic uncertainty that comes in with this, right? We talked about efficiency, we talked about effectiveness, we talked about how particularly if the execution is not good but the planning is good, what happens if your execution is poor but planning is really good, what happens then? We did all those scenarios. We have done a lot of questions. We have done a lot of examples here. It has been interesting thing to learn, right? Then we asked the basic question, which one would, right, the forward and the backward linkage. How would you probably break this into tasks is remember this photo always, remember this picture, graph, whatever you want to see, this thing always that you got to break down the entire big task into small multiple tasks to achieve rather than trying to achieve big tasks in a single go, which is going to be really difficult. Okay. Then we were talking about change, the strategic change, which is imperative, which will happen irrespective of the fact whether you want it or not. It's going to happen for sure. So you can't escape strategic change. You cannot escape something which is bound to happen, and that's called change. Okay. That is what we were talking about. They were talking about the Kurt Lewin model, who said you unfreeze, you change, and you refreeze. To bring about the change in the middle before you unfreeze and then refreeze, there are 3 ways to bring about change, which is through compliance, through identification, and through internalization. Internalization is more about changing the mindset. Identification is role models. Compliance is rewards and recognition and even punishments. For people who are doing change, who are accepting, embracing change, and people who are revolting or rebelling against change, उनको punishment देने का, और जो आपकी मदद कर रहे हैं in bringing about a change, people who are really excited and valuing and bringing about a change, you reward them aptly, appropriately, so that others also change, thinking कि भाई ये तो अच्छी चीज है, and you're getting rewarded and recognized for it. Okay. Then we were talking about digital transformation, transformation to SAP, cloud systems, technological advancement that every business goes through as they scale up, as they grow. Small to small, big to big, every business goes through a digital transformation when they increase their size of operations, when they increase the way they do business, when they increase in size, when they go wider, when they go into diversification or differentiation or even conglomerate form, they got to increase the automation and not just be dependent on a lot of manual work, because it hampers efficiency, it hampers growth, it takes a lot of time. It's not something that people would like to do day in, day out. Okay. That is what we were talking about in digital transformation. Then how do you do that? Best practices in bringing about a change management is begin at the top, let leaders know you got to change. If leaders change, people would eventually follow. Ensure it is both necessary and desired. Make sure you know why you're making change and you communicate it. Reduce disruption by telling people, giving them ample time to change, to learn, to share, and work on the new things. Encourage communication 2-way, 3-way, this way, that way, up, down, forward, backward. हर जगह उनको अलाउ करो बात कर सके. Recognize that the change is a norm and not an exception. Everybody, irrespective, without any exceptions, has to go through change. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि एक टीम को बोलो अरे नहीं नहीं आप तो ऐसे पुराने तरीके से काम करो बाकी सब ऑटोमेट हो जाएगा. It might bring about a lot of apprehension. It might bring about a lot of problems. So avoid doing that. So these are some best practices. Star mark kar lena. Study material mein please go and study. It's more descriptive in study material. You got to go and read the study material. Read this topic carefully. 9 out of 20 times. or maybe 5 out of 10 times एग्जाम में ये क्वेश्चन आता है इन सब्जेक्टिव. They ask you what are some of the best practices you will recommend to a CEO who's trying to bring about a change in the organization. So you need to write about these best practices to bring about a change in the organization. Okay. One of the most asked questions in the exam, subjective, not even objective, MCQ नहीं आता है, but ये subjective question की तरह आता है. So be very well prepared. Okay. McKinsey's 7S model, the soft essays and the hard essays. Okay, the hard essays being the strategy, the structure, the systems, the soft essays being the shared values, skills, style, and stuff. So these things are really, really important, but I'll take a pause here and ask you one simple question. Do you even understand why is McKinsey's 7S model used? My question to you is very simple, my friend. Why is McKinsey 7S model used? I want each one of you to answer this in the chat. Why is McKinsey 7S model used? To instill values among people of the organization. What values? How will a strategy or a structure instill a value among people of the organization? For formation of policies, okay? For organizational design, to manage organizational design, okay? How effective achieved an organization, maintain an effective balance, to give a framework for how an organization should be run, okay? Good leadership, understanding organizational structure and change when required, analysis, overall health and ability to change. सबके आंसर इतने अलग क्यों हैं? Okay, tell me in the chat, how many of you have read McKinsey's 7S model from the study material? Honestly. Give me an honest answer. How many of you have studied McKinsey's 7S model from the study material? If most of the answer I read here is that people are saying we have read about it in the study material. Study material के McKinsey 7S model, what's the first para in the study material for McKinsey 7S model? What does it say? क्या बोलता है वो? What's written in that para? Have you seen? That's your answer. That's your answer. The answer is also on your screen. The answer is also on your screen. McKinsey 7S model is the organizational framework. It helps you define, it helps you design the organizational framework. It helps you, not effectiveness, nothing. The answer is organizational framework. It helps you design, it helps you develop an organizational framework which tells you how the organization will operate. What's the strategy? What's the structure? What are the systems? What are the shared values? So that it can work on effectiveness and right, so that all the operations really lead to being effective. Really lead to being effective. कारगर हो, result oriented ho. So strategy, structure, systems, shared values, skills, style, and staff. The 7S's of McKinsey 7S model, the organizational framework, it helps to design, it helps to develop that organizational framework. Okay, that's McKinsey 7S model. Okay, the key idea is that all elements are interrelated. The key idea what a McKinsey 7S model tells everybody is that listen, all these elements are interrelated. All these elements are interrelated A change in one element or one area is going to impact every other element. And by understanding these connections, companies can really manage change more effectively and achieve sustainable success. Companies, if they understand that all these elements are interrelated, what they can do is they can achieve sustainable success while managing the change more effectively. तो भाई आंसर आपके पास है, आप सबके पास आंसर है, but why are you not writing those answers? I don't know. Okay. McKinsey 7S model helps to develop an organizational framework where the idea is that all the elements, the 7 elements, blah, 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 7 elements are interrelated. A change in one area leads to a change in multiple other elements. By understanding these connections, the companies can manage change more effectively and achieve sustainable success. 5 out of 5 marks. I give you a 5-mark question. Why is McKinsey 7S model important for the organization? Explain those 7 elements. You like organizational design, effectiveness, helps organization. You'll never get marks. You will never get marks. The keywords are here: interrelated, change, manage change effectively. Okay. Achieve sustainable success. This is a static model. What does static mean? You tell me, Shravani, what does static mean? Not flexible. Correct. It's not dynamic. Okay. It's rigid. It does not change. Static means it's the same model. It will not change. It's as it is. Change nahi hota rahega ye. It's static. It's not dynamic. Like the environment is dynamic. McKinsey 7S model is static. It's not dynamic. Okay. Okay, we were talking about organizational structures next, which was we talked about a simple structure. We talked about the SBUs, the divisional. Do you remember the toy store? We were talking about the SBU structure. We were talking about and the basis for making an SBU, right? We were talking about what are the bases for making an SBU. And the like different scientific things that you can use to create, right? An SBU, probably similar technology based on similar products, similar target markets, or similar marketing skills. It's a scientific way of creating an SBU, right? It can be based on geographies, it can be based on products, it can be based on technology. Really depends on how you want to manage your business, but generally, on a scientific model, on a scientific logic, it's created based on these couple of things like technologies or a product or a market or a marketing skill. The strategic business unit. Okay. Now, grouping method kya hota hai? They group together an SBU. An SBU has its own set of CEO and it has its own set of who. An SBU has its own set of CEO, the management people, the people who take decisions for it, and it also has its own set of who. That's my question to you. An SBU has its own set of who. It has its own CEO, has its own strategy. What else does it have? Absolutely right. Competitors. ये manager कहाँ से आ गए? Its own set of competitors. CEO अपना है, management अपनी है, functions अपने हैं, competitors भी separate होते हैं. Each SBU has its own set of competitors. Each SBU has its own set of competitors. Its own set of management, and its own set of competitors. That's an SBU. If you have to differentiate or identify whether it's an SBU or not, the first thing you should check is whether it has its own set of competitors or not. If it has its own set of competitors, most likely than not, it's going to be an SBU. Okay, great. We were talking about network, then hourglass, and then we reached to this topic. Hourglass was when we talked the last thing, okay? And now we start with organizational culture. Can I please give examples where network and hourglass structure is implemented? Absolutely. Network structure. Apple uses network structure. A lot of big fours use a network structure. Hourglass structure is mostly startups like a Zepto or a Blinkit or a Zomato. All these are hourglass, but now they're bigger. Zepto is still in hourglass, right? Most of the startups are hourglass because 3-4 friends come together to work. Then they have very small 2 or 3 managers, and then they have 20-30 interns or people working. So it's more like an hourglass, like big at the top, small in the middle, even bigger in the bottom. That's an hourglass, okay? Mostly startups. Okay, let me ask a question. Do you remember in school, when you were in school, what was the culture of your school? Did your school really push you to do extracurriculars, or it was more studies oriented? What was the culture of your school? Study, Hardik says study oriented, Ajay says study, Shravani says both. Rosalind says study, Manisha says only studies, Dilip study both. I'm not saying both are good or not, Nitin. आपके स्कूल में what was the culture? Did the school focus a lot on studies, or did it also ask students to do extracurriculars? Dambeshwari Srini says both. Pranav says the push for extracurricular activities, very nice. More study, both. It was balanced. More study oriented, study, both curricular activities were there, right? Okay. People who are saying, okay, now people who are saying only studies. First, I'm asking the question to people who are saying just studies. How did you feel that they do not promote extracurricular activities? आपको कैसे पता? Maybe you were not participating doesn't mean they don't promote it. How do you know, or how did you get to know that they were not pushing for extracurricular activities and they only focused on studies? How did you know? कैसे पता चला आपको ये? कैसे क्यों लगता था? Because there were no games, no activities at all. Okay, Manisha. No games, no activities, no sports at all because your friends tell about, okay, very nice. And he says because his friends were telling about their school ki bhai wahan to we have a sports day, we have a sports meet. So we got to know ki yaar, we are not having anything. Okay, Rajulin, in school there was no space for having a lot of sports. Fair. Not every school has a big ground, or it's not possible for every school to have a big ground. What else made you realize that they're not doing extracurricular? Most of your answers are right. Like all your answers are right, to be honest. Like Manisha, Ajay, or Rosalind. When I say right, I mean this is how you get to know, right? Comparison with the school, communication with students. Now, for people who are saying the school had extracurricular, they focused on both. There was a good balance. What makes you say it? ऐसा क्या होता था आपके स्कूल में that you feel they were focusing on both, or they were focusing on extracurriculars as well? What was happening so special or so different in your school that you feel they were really focused on extracurriculars? Give me some examples. Pranav was part of the school band and we won a lot of inter-school competitions. Awesome, Pranav. So you got opportunities to explore your talent, which even you did not know. You obviously did not know that you could be really good in the school band, but once you were there, you got opportunities to represent and you even won competitions that boosts your confidence and boosts your overall personality, right? So studies with curricular activities every week. Awesome. So new activity every week was planned. So very nice. Every week there was a sports. One day was dedicated for sports. There was a sports period. अंकित इज सो सैड सिंह मेरे स्कूल में तो कुछ नहीं होता था कोई बात नहीं अंकित अभी आप बड़े हो गए हो you become a CA soon you spend money on sports go and play a tennis or a badminton you want to play anything आजकल तो बहुत कुछ चल रहा है box cricket pickle ball new sports are coming table tennis you should join inter-school competitions intra-school competition like debates painting absolutely your school held fair each and every student used to participate and rather awesome that's very nice every week 1 hour of indoor games ये बढ़िया स्कूल है भाई you used to play ludo chess or snake and ladder okay awesome so now let's get back to what we are talking about the organizational culture okay the culture of the school, the culture of that organization is defined by their actions. Is defined by their actions. Culture is always defined by the action. Okay. Now, if you want a good culture, you got to take some steps which really push for the idea that you want to have in the organization. Now, for example, you want to have speed in your organization. You want to have a lot of speed at work in your organization. You're a startup. Let me get you to the core of organizational culture. Answer me as I ask you the question now. You are a startup founder. You want speed in your organization. How will you ensure everybody works at a great speed? कैसे करोगे? How will you ensure that? Decentralization, very nice. Incentive plans, okay. I want each and every one of you to answer. सब सोने चले गए हैं. Guys, you got to be active. This is most likely the second last class. Tomorrow we are planning to do the last class most likely. So it's your last 2 days with me. Let's be active. Rewards for fast work, comparison. Functional heads should work properly. Absolutely. I hope they do. Give regular rewards to employees, make them responsible for the project, give ownership, give authority, decentralize, bonus based on performance, more incentive function than for business to go to top management by praising them. Okay, Manisha is the kind-hearted person. She's saying, praise them every morning. They come and they say, oh, what a wonderful employee. Please work fast. ठीक है Nisha. 3 दिन ही चलेगा. 4th day, an employee will say, dude, give me my money. I'm just joking. Like that's a fair point. You got to acknowledge them. You got to praise them, reward them, recognize them. Right? No micromanagement, Roshan, right? You got to do macro, but you don't have to do micromanagement. Awesome. Very nice. Now think about this, my friend. Startup में तो ये culture you कह रहे हो ये अच्छा लगेगा. If I am in a startup and the kind of culture you guys are creating for me, I would really like this culture. Speed hai, I'm getting incentives for working, I'm getting praises and recognition for working at speed. But now I am working in a big organization. Think about this, okay? Now I am working in a very big organization. I am more concerned about the ethics, the compliance, the law, because it's a big company, it's a public company. I can't do things wrong. I can't do things wrong. It's a big company, responsible. I want more control on the processes. I don't want leakages. I don't want people taking rash decisions themselves. I want to control a lot of decision making because I am big public company with a lot of responsibility on the employees, a lot of responsibility on the society, a lot of responsibility on a lot many stakeholders. मेरे पीछे सेबी पड़ा है, मेरे पीछे इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट है, मिनिस्ट्री है, स्टेक होल्डर्स है, वेंडर है, सप्लायर है, इंटरनेशनल गवर्नमेंट्स हैं. आई एम अ बिग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. I can't just let people in the name of speed take rash decisions. How will I make this culture while people not feeling कि यार ये तो बहुत ही ज्यादा माइक्रो मैनेजमेंट है? How will you ensure you have control over the work and the decision making without making people feel that this is a toxic culture? कैसे करोगे? Well defined policies, more communication between the levels, letting them know their value in the organization. Okay, I'll come to that. And very interestingly, your answers are in the right direction and they're right. I'll just conclude that with a great thing. But I want all of you to answer. It's just so गई है क्या जनता? I know it's too cold in the northern part of India, but guys, it's already 7:30. Din khul gaya. I see buses. I just saw a college bus pass through my window. Some people are going to the college this morning and such cold. Proper supervising, getting the feedback, ensuring communication, better communication, supporting employees. It's raining in Vishakhapatnam. Awesome, Sravini. You live in a great place. At least the weather is clean. Delegate only those powers which are of less importance and remaining power with the top management so that the power supervision can be there. Okay, great, Hardik. Work balance, new activity, company, proper communication, their point with the company for the decision. Awesome. How do you do this? What you're saying is absolutely right, my friend. Power, top pe rakho, but let them feel valued. Let them feel that they're part of the organization, but keep the decision making to yourself. How do you do this? Theoretical answer तो बड़े अच्छे हैं. I really like the theoretical answer, and you can probably use them in the exam. You guys are great at making theoretical answers. I'm asking a practical answer. How will you do this? How will you do this? Make them sign contracts. Nobody's going to sign contracts, Manisha. Job mein, nobody's going to take that risk of signing a contract with the employer. Nobody does that. Why would they sign a contract with you? Giving important for them, at least act like that. You're giving them importance. At least act like that. ठीक है, झूठ बोलने होंगे सर. Absolutely. Now you guys are reaching the right thing. Create an environment of friendly atmosphere of the people. Okay? Give them long-term benefits. सिर्फ पैसे से नहीं. Let me give you an example. Okay? Let me give you an example and you tell me if I am right or not. Okay? As a leader, I would go to that person and say, okay, these are certain important decisions that we need to take for the organization, but we need to take these decisions together. Not just you, not just me. We have to take these decisions together. So next time you're taking a decision, do reach out to me because we have to work together on these things. अभी क्या होगा इससे? If I tell this to my subordinate or somebody junior, what will happen? Do you feel triggered? Do you feel offended? Do you feel कि यार मेरे से तो पूछते ही नहीं है, अपनी ही करते हैं? नहीं, I did not make you feel that. But I also told you, bhai, decision has to go through me. But I also gave you a proper, clear indication that the decision has to go through me, right? Now, this will set an organizational culture. Next time this person becomes a manager, a senior manager, a VP, they will ask their subordinates the same thing. When their subordinates become a manager, senior manager, VP, vice president or a president or a CEO, they will make sure they do the same thing. तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का कल्चर बन जाता है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का एक कल्चर बन जाता है. ओके, नाउ इफ अगेन एन एग्जांपल, ओके, let's say I am a sales organization, I am like agency है मेरी, I have ice cream, Amul ice cream की agency है, okay, I am a wholesaler and I have 20 people working for me. What I do is when ice creams come, every box I tell them, अरे हर box में से दो ice cream निकालो, okay, take out two ice creams from every single box, create one new box so that customer कौन सा खोल के count करेगा. The box is written 20 pieces, 18 होंगे, उसको पता भी नहीं चलेगा, एक साथ 18 खाएगा नहीं, दिन में आराम से खाएगा, जब निकालेगा गिनेगा तो they won't count as well. So and I do this, ठीक है, then I do this. So tomorrow what happens is I go on a 1 week leave. I am going to, let's say I'm going to Goa for 1 week and I tell my people that, oh, okay, work on the business, make sure you do the business right. I'll be back in 1 week. When I go for 1 week, what will happen in the agency? What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen behind me when I go out for 1 week? क्या होगा? क्या सेंस आ रही है? What can you sense? What will happen? Yeah, they will empty all cartons, boxes will go missing, many problems will be waiting for you. Theft of the ice cream, money, compliance, कुछ ना कुछ तो business में गड़बड़ होगी. Business, they will take out more ice creams or start selling or tell you that they are sold, but will cash ले लेंगे, कुछ कर लेंगे. They will do some forgery, or they will do something non-compliant. And they will justify it. And they will justify it. The important thing is those people will justify it by saying, आप तो करते हो. Those employees will justify it saying that, dude, you also do the same thing in your business. If we did it, why are you so furious? Why are you scolding us? Why are you firing us when you yourself do this with the customers? Okay. Now that's exactly what's called an organizational structure. That is what an organizational structure is. Or organization culture is. The way you work in the business, the employees are going to work the same way. If you are dedicated, they are dedicated. If you are hardworking, they will be hardworking. If you are frugal, they are going to be frugal. If you are on time, they are going to be on time. Another example, basis time. One of the biggest challenges, today the organizational culture is about managing time. Let me give you an example and you tell me what happens. There's a meeting every month. Let's say in your office, there is a meeting every month. Let's say every third Friday, there is a meeting. Listen to me very carefully and then answer. Let's say there is a meeting every Friday, or every third Friday of the month, there is a big monthly review meeting. In that meeting, the 3-4 leaders who have to join, the finance head, the CEO, the legal head, the marketing head, all these 3-4 people always join 5 to 7 minutes late. Always. पिछले 3-4 महीने से, from the last 3-4 months, they're joining the meeting 5 to 10 minutes late. Okay. Now, would other people join on time? Would other people join on time? The answer is no. They will know कि यार ये तो 10 minutes late आना है. So let me also join 10 minutes late. Why should I join and sit idle on the screen? This is organizational culture. Reverse to this, if there is a leader who is always on time, 10 a.m. is the meeting, that guy enters the meeting 9:59. Always. When are people likely to join? People will join 5 minutes early. People will start joining 9:55. 9:55 पे लोग join करना चालू कर देंगे. Because the leader is there by 9:59. You know, this is called organizational culture. This is called organizational culture. Okay. Yes, Sambeshri, just like this LVC. If I join at 7, most of you know that it's going to start at 7. So we start at 7. So you join by 7, you try to join the class because you know if I miss the first minutes, these guys would have started the revision, right? That's setting a culture. Now, an organization's culture, the shared values, the behaviors of its employees is crucial. It impacts employee satisfaction, productivity, and even customer perception. A positive culture fosters a sense of belonging, purpose, and motivation. A problem culture marked by negativity, blame, or poor communication can cripple morale and success. Another example, my friend, and another example. The person who is a sycophant, बहुत boss की चापलूसी करता है. Oh, boss, you're a great person. Oh, how did you do this? Oh, wow, wonderful. You're so good. So thank you so much. Thank you. You're good. You're wonderful. You're the best. They get a promotion. They get a promotion. And people who are working and who are just doing the job and they're doing the job absolutely right, they are not getting the promotion within the time the person is saying, oh, boss, I love you. You're the best. Yeah, that sets a culture that the leadership wants you to keep praising them. The leadership wants you to do all of that because that ensures your growth, right? That's an organizational culture. That what it means is that's how they're setting the culture of the organization. Make sense? Yes, no, okay, good, not good. Great. Now, to manage a problem culture, पहले तो करना क्या चाहिए? ये तो हो गया सब चीजें बहुत ही सही. Just like Tarak Mehta. Nitin is saying, just like Tarak Mehta does for his boss. Okay, my boss is calling me. I have to just leave everything in the world and go and work for him. That's why he's getting promoted. Watching a lot of TMKOC. Good. Now the big question and the big, I would say, exam frequently asked question again. How do you manage a problem culture? There is a problem in the culture. We have figured it out. The people don't feel nice. There is some problem. People are not motivated. How will you change or manage a problem culture? The answer is first you have to diagnose it. भाई आपको diagnose तो करना पड़ेगा. You will have to figure out what's wrong. You have to figure out what's wrong. So openly listen to the employee concerns and conduct surveys. Then take concrete steps. Openly listen to people. Listen to people, what are they saying? And then through surveys, through concerns, through one-on-one meetings, and then take concrete steps. Address toxic behaviors through clear policies and enforcements. If you figure out, you identify a toxic culture, a toxic behavior, throughout the organization, make clear policies to ensure that doesn't repeat, and then do enforcement. That means firing the people, hiring the people, XYZ. Number 3, promote communication through open forums and encourage collaboration. Communicate, बात करो लोगों से, proper communication, peer to peer communication, one on one, to the manager, to the skip level, to senior manager. सब लोग से बात करने का एक culture होना चाहिए where people can openly talk to the leaders. Open forums, encourage collaboration so that they can work together. Celebrate successes and recognize positive contributions. People are hungry for recognition. Let me tell you, people, humans are hungry for recognition. You're going on the road. Somebody comes and says, I really like your shoes. Your day is made. Your day is made. Somebody praises you for anything, right? That, oh, wow, this is fantastic. Oh, you're so smart. Oh, wow, you're so intelligent. Your day is made. आपको पूरा दिन अच्छा मजा, खुद पे कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा. You will just ignore every bad thing. That's how recognition and rewards really impact. Which means the moment you want people to do something, do it yourself first. You can't ask people to keep your area clean and you yourself are spitting on the road. Doesn't work. Does not work that way. You have to lead by example. Do what you want others to do. Treat people like you want people to treat you. Simple maths है. ज़्यादा complicated है नहीं. Treat people like you want to be treated and listen to people a lot. As a leader, you have to listen to people a lot. And that brings me to one of the most important topics is strategic leadership. Strategic leadership. Okay. We're talking about organizational culture. We're talking about organization structure. How do you bring about a change? Why is change important? How do you make sure people don't feel toxic? How do you make sure people feel encouraged, motivated? The culture is positive. And that brings us to the topic of strategic leadership. That brings us to the topic of strategic leadership. Okay, there's a blue quote on your top of the screen. A leader is best when people barely know she. Okay. A leader is best when people barely know that they exist. When the work is done and the aim is fulfilled, they will say, we did it ourselves. Which means a leader has to be a support system. A leader has to be somebody who probably enables work rather than does the work. And when the work is done, people say, oh, we did it ourselves. We are our own leaders. That's the real work of a real leader, that people feel so empowered, encouraged, and motivated. कि भाई उनको लगे, this is what we did ourselves, right? This is by Lao Tzu. This is a quotation by Lao Tzu that is right from the study material. Now, generally, leaders or managers have 5 leadership roles to play in pushing for good strategy execution. Okay. Number 1, staying on top of what is happening. Please. Number 1, the 5 important strategic roles to play in pushing for good strategy execution. Number 1 is staying on the top of what is happening. Stay on the top. Read, learn, share, go to conferences, go to forums, understand what's happening around you. The world is moving towards a new generation. Okay. Now, Let me tell you, you guys are the next generation in the job. Okay, let me ask you this question. Very simple question. Very simple question. All of you are the next generation who's going to be part of the Indian workforce very very soon. बहुत जल्दी आप लोग इंडियन वर्कफोर्स के पार्ट होने वाले हो. My question to you is very simple, my friend. What do you value more? What do you value more? A good role in a in a bad company, or a mediocre role in a good company? What will you prefer? What will you prefer, my friend? A good role. अजय ऑप्शन तो सुन लो. Would you prefer a good role in a bad company or a mediocre role in a good company? Okay, Ramalakshmi says mediocre role in a good company. Mediocre role in a good company. Mediocre role in a good company. Okay, option two. Option two. 99.9% people are saying mediocre role in a good company. I don't want a big role in a bad company. I don't want to be the CFO of a toxic company. I would rather be a senior manager only, but in a good company. 99.9% people go with option number two. I see a few, two or three people saying option number one as well. That's okay. Your choice. Very happy for you. I would also go with option number two. तो इससे क्रक्स क्या निकल के आ रहा है? The crux is the majority of the future workforce, which is you, your friends across India, my friend. अब ये देखिए, across India, people want a mediocre role, but they want the company to be good. So what's the job of the leadership then? If the future talented workforce wants to be in a mediocre role also, but in a good company, what's the job of a leader who is reading this trend? क्या करना पड़ेगा उसको? क्या करना पड़ेगा उसको? बताइए, क्या करना पड़ेगा? The answer is they have to make the organization good on social media. Simple बता रहा हूँ आपको. You have to make the organization as a very good viral organization on social media. People like you and me will flock to the company like anything. Let me ask you another question, my friend. You are the next generation of workforce. Okay, listen to this very carefully. Would you prefer a 10 lakh per annum job? Listen to me very carefully. Would you prefer a 10 lakh rupees per annum job in Mumbai, or would you prefer a 6.5 lakh per annum job in your home city? कौन सी जॉब लेना पसंद करोगे? कौन सी जॉब लेना पसंद करोगे? 6.5 lakhs in your home city or 10 lakh rupees in Mumbai? You know, 70% of the people in the chat are saying home city. 6.5 lakhs in the home city has almost 70% of the people. 80 now. 80% of the people are saying, I will just take 6.5 lakh rupees in home city. Okay. Only 30% or like now only 20% people in Mumbai. Oh, Gurminder, your home city is Mumbai. ये तो smart answer हो गया. For you, let's say Dubai. जाओगे? 10 लाख रुपए के लिए दुबई या 6 लाख रुपए मुंबई में लोगे? Think about this. Absolutely no. Now your answer changes, right? You'll stay in your home city. Majority of the people are saying home city. They will take. आपको पता है आप कितना हिट ले रहे हो? 6.5 lakhs versus 10 lakhs, how much is the difference in percentage terms? In percentage terms, almost to 50%. 50% of 6 lakhs is 3 lakhs. If you add that to 6.5 lakhs, that is about 10 lakhs. 50% कम पैसे लेने को ready हो आप. Hardik, absolutely, that's absolutely right. I would also go to Mumbai for 10 lakhs. You ask me, if you ask me, I would go for 10 lakhs to Mumbai. Ask me why. Because I agree with Hardik. Once you reach a bigger city, the amount of opportunity you get for future, first job, initial years, घर पे बैठ के क्या करोगे भाई? पूरी जिंदगी घर पे बैठना है. आफ्टर रिटायरिंग घर पे होम सिटी में ही रहना है. Even in your youth, when it's your time to explore, when it's time to grow, you're stagnating yourself for just staying in that comfort. Just for staying in that comfort. Okay, let me switch this thing for you. Let me switch this thing for you and ask you a question here, okay? You're getting a role. अभी देखो क्या होता है. Another example is, okay? Another example is you're getting a role to work directly with the CEO of the World Bank. Listen to the scenario carefully. You are getting an opportunity to work directly with the CEO of the World Bank, and you will have to then go to the US. आपको न्यूयॉर्क सिटी में जाके काम करना पड़ेगा. You're going to work for 2 years with the CEO of the World Bank. You have to shift to New York City, and they will not pay. They will not pay. They'll just pay a stipend, as in they won't pay a salary. They're just going to pay a stipend for you to do your daily stuff like commute, food, rental. इतना ही पैसा मिलेगा. Listen to this carefully and then answer. On the contrary, you're getting 15 lakh rupees per annum in your home city. Which one will you choose? Which one will you choose? Only 3 people so far have said home city. Rest, everyone is now going to the New York. बहुत बढ़िया है. What a दोगला जनता. What a दोगली जनता. अब तो पैसे भी नहीं मिल रहे. अब क्यों जा रहे हो न्यूयॉर्क में? बेटर लर्निंग अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रही है सर हमको न्यूयॉर्क में. अच्छा जी, ठीक है. मुंबई में नहीं मिल रही थी. वहां पैसे देख रहे थे, अरे होम सिटी रहते हैं, ऐश मारते हैं. अभी न्यूयॉर्क आए तो चलो चलो न्यूयॉर्क बैग बांध के. पैसे नहीं मिलेंगे कोई बात नहीं, बट मैं खुश रहूंगा. ये 3 इडियट्स का डायलॉग. बट अब आई विल बी हैप्पी. अब बेटर सोशल नेटवर्क क्या हो गया अजय? बेटर सोशल नेटवर्क तो होम सिटी में भी था पहले. अभी तक तो होम सिटी में थे. अब जैसे ही आई एम सेइंग गोइंग टू न्यूयॉर्क वर्क विद द वर्ल्ड बैंक, अरे होम सिटी को लात मार के वी आर गोइंग टू न्यूयॉर्क. What I'm saying is there is no right and wrong. Okay, I'm not saying that your decision is wrong, your decision was wrong earlier, or your decision was right now. It's okay. Everywhere I would have also done the same thing. But the leader, I'm linking it to what we are studying right now. Now, the manager as a leader has to stay on top of what is happening. Staying on top of what is happening. See, now the leaders of tomorrow, you're going to be in the workforce in the next 2 to 3 years. And if I understand you, the next workforce, you guys are all about role. आपको अच्छा काम करना है, बट आपको अच्छी कंपनी भी चाहिए, बट आपको अच्छा पैसा भी चाहिए, आपको सब कुछ अच्छा चाहिए. But one thing that you will not compromise on is comfort. You as a generation, or we as a generation particularly, will not compromise on comfort. We are ready to give away money. Money is not a matter for us. पैसा देख ही नहीं रहे हो आप. I've just given you so much logic कि भाई आप न्यूयॉर्क में रहोगे but you will not make money. नहीं नहीं, हम तो न्यूयॉर्क चले जाएंगे. Home city में 15 lakh rupees in your home city means you can make a house in 2 years. But आपको घर नहीं बनाना, आप न्यूयॉर्क चले जाओगे. Which means money is not something that you're looking for in the job. You're saying पैसे तो कमा लेंगे यार, आ जाएंगे पैसे. You're looking for jobs. You're looking for meaningful work. You're looking for great mentors. You're looking for people who can influence you. You're looking for role models. The CEO of the World Bank, you're like, हाँ जाएंगे ना, कुछ सीखने मिलेगा उनसे. You're searching for role models. You're searching for valuable work. You're searching for comfort as well. But maybe money is secondary. Maybe money is secondary for you. Now, as a leader, people should be on top of what is happening here. कल को आप लोग को लीड करना है उनको, तो पता तो होना चाहिए what drives you. They're like, अरे आप मेरे से 5 लाख रुपीस और ले लो बट do this work. You're like, करना ही नहीं है. I don't need your money. I don't want to do this. If somebody keeps you in a boring job and gives you 5 lakh rupees extra per annum, you're like, dude, I don't want your 5 lakh. I need something that feeds my curiosity. I want to work on a good project. I don't want to do a boring project. Is that right? Am I understanding this right? Give me a yes, no, okay. Yeah, absolutely right. That's what the trend is. And that's what managers have to understand, that, dude, people are changing. The next generation is changing and we need to give them what they want. That's the number one role that a leader has to play in an organization's culture. If the culture is about interesting work, fun work, a lot of people will join you. If your culture is boring work and you're just giving money, maybe a few people will join you for sure for money, but a lot of people will burn out and say, यार छोड़ो ना पैसा, कुछ काम तो अच्छा करेंगे. Right? Number 2, promoting a culture of esprit de corps. What is esprit de corps? Esprit de corps means we are a team. Promoting a culture of esprit de corps, that means we are a team. It's a French word. Okay? The spirit of a group, the spirit of a team. Esprit de corps. Okay? Teamwork. There should be a culture. The leader has to promote a culture of team. Teamwork होना चाहिए. एक ही आदमी सारा काम करेगा, नहीं होना चाहिए. There has to be a culture of teamwork. There has to be a culture where everybody has a say, everybody contributes, everybody gets to work, everybody gets to participate. Okay. Number 3, keeping the organization responsive to the changing conditions, alert for new opportunities, SWOT analysis, bhaiya. Keeping the organization responsive through SWOT analysis. Opportunities and threats ढूंढते रहो, strengths को बढ़ाते जाओ, weakness को कम करते जाओ. Keep finding opportunities, saving yourself from the threats, keep working on your strengths and keep reducing your weaknesses. That's how you keep the organization responsive to the external environment. You can also use pestle analysis here. Exercising ethical leadership and insisting that the company conducts its affairs like a model corporate citizen. Example, my friend, example. You are the CFO of the company. ठीक है जी? Listen to this very carefully and then answer. You are the CFO of the company, and the company says, okay, boss, it's time for a new laptop. Which laptop do you want? Which laptop do you want? You go to the internet and you see that, okay, there are three good laptops. Number one laptop is for 3 lakh rupees. Fantastic processor, yeah, whoa, everything top notch. It's a 3 lakh rupee, very premium gold plated laptop. It's a 3 lakh rupee laptop. There is another laptop for about 1.5 lakh rupees, same processor, same thing, right? Just not too fancy. And there's another laptop which the employees of your company are using. Every employee of the company is using let's say 65, 70,000 rupee laptop. Okay? Which one will you choose? Your budget is 5 lakh rupees. आपका budget है 5 लाख रुपए. Which laptop will you choose? Okay. All my CFOs, dear CFOs, future CFOs, even if you have the budget, going for a 3 lakh rupee gold plated or a 1.5 lakh rupee good, great processor laptop, it's going to set a context in the organization कि भाई पैसे उड़ाने हैं. जब I get into a power position, I will also blow companies' money. But if I have a budget of 5 lakh rupees and I still ask for a 65,000 rupee laptop, because every other employee, the entire finance department, I am the CFO, I have, let's say, 100 chartered accountants working in the organization. Everybody is using a 65,000. अरे मुझे क्यों चाहिए भाई 1.5-2 लाख रुपए का? मैं कैसे अलग करूंगा? I'll also use the same thing what my team is using. I am part of the team. I am part of the team, my friend. I am not superior to the team. Exercising ethical leadership, my friend, insisting that the company conducts its affairs like a model corporate citizen. Not at all, Srini. It does not. Right, Srini? Then everybody has to change their laptop. Why would you get the premium laptop when the people who are really working are getting poor laptops? If that 65,000 is not so great a laptop, why have we given it to the employees? जिन्होंने असली में काम करना है. मुझे तो सिर्फ मीटिंग्स में जाना है. आई एम द CFO. आई तो जस्ट हैव टू गो इनटू मीटिंग्स एंड लुक एट द स्क्रीन थ्रू वीडियो कॉल्स. आई डोंट इवन हैव टू वर्क ऑन एक्सेल. देयर आर सो मेनी पीपल टू डू दैट फॉर मी. राइट, मैं तो आईपैड से भी काम चला सकता हूँ, टैब से भी काम. द आइडिया इज नॉट to be a senior leader. The idea is that people feel, man, this guy is so good, right? He has no greed. You're setting a context through small actions. You are setting a context through small actions that, man, this guy has no greed. He's such a good person. He's a great guy. I'm okay if he leads me. You got to make people feel this, that I like when he leads me or she leads me. It shouldn't be like, अबे ये क्यों बताएगा हमें? It shouldn't happen like this, right? That an apprehension that, dude, how will this person, I don't want to be led by this dumb person or a greedy person or a sly person or a toxic person. Rather, people should be like, man, this guy is great. So much to learn from him, right? That's exercising ethical leadership. Be ethical. Know what's right. Be true to the principles. That's going to set the culture for the organization. If Ratan Tata was such an ethical person, Tata brand itself, because Ratan Tata and brand Tata, he owns that name. He owns that name. Right? That's how you exercise ethical leadership. The fifth one that leaders play a role is pushing corrective actions. Okay. Now, pushing corrective actions to improve the strategy execution and the overall strategic performance. Being a good leader doesn't mean you have to be soft. Please remember, being a leader doesn't mean you have to always pamper your employees. You also have to punish. You also have to ensure they do the work. काम करवाना आपकी job है. Some people will do the job if you praise them. Some people will do the job only when you scold them. Let me give you a classic example. How many of you have seen that your neighbors or people around you, they spit on the road or put garbage around your house? I'm coming to that, Shravani. How many of you have experienced this? A lot of people will keep garbage around your house thinking, अरे क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है अब तो. Most of your neighbors will come and like they'll take their garbage and put it in front of your house. Have you experienced this? Very India specific problem. Yeah, absolutely. See, Hardik, that happens, right? Neeru, you have good neighbors. Most of the children do, yes. You go fight with them. Ajay, don't fight with them, yeah. They will start a fight with us. Manisha, you don't have to fight with them. Yeah, okay. But now the question, my friend, is would you treat them with a lot of love and care and teach them ki, please, uncle, auntie, don't throw the garbage here. It doesn't look right. Please aisa mat kiya kijiye. Will they listen to you? Will they listen to you? The answer is no, never. They're not going to listen. Maybe, I don't know, right? But if you tell them with an outright authority, if you go to them and you tell them with respect, I'm not saying don't lose the respect, but you tell them with authority. Authority doesn't mean disrespect. I tell them, okay, this is my house. This is my place. You can't spill the garbage here. Next time you do this, I'm going to spill my garbage on your house, and then let's see what happens. So I request, please don't do that. आगे से मत कीजिएगा. Most likely they would stop this because you are being authoritative, right? Disrespect नहीं है, authority है. Authority is leadership, and that's what we are reading here. Pushing corrective actions through authority to improve the execution and overall performance. You have to be authoritative, not disrespectful, not toxic, no micromanagement, but authoritative. भाई काम तो करना है ना, पैसे ले रहे हैं employee. Employee is taking money. काम तो करना पड़ेगा ना, ये तो है ना छुट्टियां मारे जाएगा. Think about from the company perspective, man. You're taking leaves, you're doing work from home, sitting idle, working, going through Instagram, not even working. The work is hampering. It's okay. It's okay to relax. It's okay to enjoy the day as well. You have a life beyond work. Do that. काम भी तो करना ही है ना. So if everybody's just chilling in the organization, nobody's working, then the organization is gone. So pushing corrective actions through authority, being authoritative. Okay. So the 5 leadership roles: 1, staying on top of what is happening, promoting a culture of esprit de corps, keeping the organization responsive, exercising ethical leadership and pushing corrective actions. भैया प्लीज याद रख लेना इस टॉपिक को, एग्जाम में बहुत ज्यादा आता है. It comes a lot in the examination. Okay. There are 2 basic styles of leadership. There are 2 basic leadership styles of leadership. The number 1 is transactional and number 2 is transformational. Number one is transactional. Number two is transformational. आपको बता दूं, generally, I'll give you an example and then you'll relate to this. Generally, your fathers are transactional leaders and your moms are transformational leaders. I'm just giving you a general example, okay? You might have a different, and you will ask father, if your dad has to make you do something, how do they ask you? If your father has to tell you to do something, कि भाई ये करो, यहाँ से ये लेके आओ, go and meet him, do this, that. How do they ask you to do that? Hardik says order देते हैं. पूछते नहीं है जा सकते हो नहीं जा सकते हो कब जाओगे, right? Rosalind says go and get it done. Right? In heavy voice they tell you, yep, father is like करना ही पड़ेगा. We're just talking about fathers abhi, not mothers. So you have to do this. अनुराधा के तो पिताजी बोल रहे हैं you have to do this. ठीक है, I'm waking up at 7 a.m. and studying. Okay, thank you. That is transactional leadership style. Okay. नितिन हमारे भी पेरेंट्स फ्रेंडली हैं बट ऑर्डर देते हैं. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दे आर नॉट फ्रेंडली, दे आर नाइस पीपल, ओके, बट ऑर्डर देते हो तो ऑर्डर देते हैं. It doesn't mean they're bad or they're not friendly. They're very friendly. They might love you a lot. But that's the way they lead. Order ही नहीं देते नहीं. बहुत बढ़िया, मजे आ गए आपके तो. See, transactional leadership style, result oriented. Keyword for a transactional leadership style is result oriented. Result oriented. They want results. Okay? They want results. They are operational. They are task oriented. Operations के बारे में बात करते, task के बारे में बात करते, they are result oriented. ये करो, ऐसे करो, वैसे करो. They tell you what to do, how to do, when to do. They tell you what to do, how to do, when to do, and they rely on rewards and recognition and punishments to motivate you to do stuff. Okay? They're motivated by self-interest. If people are doing the work themselves, they're really proud of those people. Transactional leaders को अगर आप काम करके दोगे बिना उनके कहे, if you do the job without even them asking you to do that job, they will be really impressed with you because they are result oriented. They use rewards and punishments to ensure the tasks are completed as expected. More transactional and focuses on task completion rather than personal development. They're not more concerned about how are you developing as an individual. They're more concerned about their work. Okay? Outcomes. Effective for maintaining stability and achieving short-term goals. They may limit innovation and employee growth in the long term. Bhaiya, keyword hai. Transactional leadership style is really good for the short-term result-oriented goal achievement, but for the long-term perspective, from a long-term sustainability, employee growth, innovation perspective, it is a big no-no. If the work is done, which is not giving outcomes, what will these leaders do? They will say goodbye to you, Shravani. They will say, oh, thank you for your services. I'll get somebody better. That's how the world is. The second one is transformational leadership style. Achha ji. The focus is on inspiration and growth. They inspire people to reach full potential. They praise them. They share their vision. They communicate. They tell them why they want you to do something. And they ask you if you can do that for them. Please request. Transformational leadership style. But remember, it's a leadership style. It's not soft. Please remember, transformational leadership style does not mean that they are soft or they are very lenient and, oh, please do my work. No, they are leaders. but it's transformational. They look into your eyes and you'll be like, and I need to do this, right? If, okay, let me give you an example here. Let me give you an example. We all know our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. Okay. What's the age? What's his age? Anybody knows the age? 80, 74. बहुत बड़ा गैप आ गया. Above 60 बहुत बढ़िया आ जाए. Above 10 ही लिख देते. 10 साल के तो ऊपर ही होंगे. सीनियर सिटीजन. अच्छा, मुझे लगा इज यूथ. Above 5 बहुत बढ़िया. Above 5 तो his number of years he's been prime minister. ये गूगल ही कर लो, पता चल जाएगा. रैंडम तुक्का मारने से अच्छा है. He'll be in late 70s, right? Above 5 for sure. And above 10 also, above 60 also. Okay? 74? 74. Google कर लिया लोगों ने. 74 years. 74 years is the age. Does Narendra Modi ask people to work with the same energy that he works with? The answer is no. He's not telling you, oh, mere jaise bano. He's not saying, oh, be as energetic as me. But the moment you see that man and you're like, if he can do this so much at 74, I am 24, I am 34, whatever your age is, man, why am I so lazy and why am I not dreaming anything? Why do I want a mediocre life? Why am I not able to do so much as he is doing at 74? At 74, he wants another 5 years of work. At 74, he wants to build another legacy. He wants to win another state elections. He wants to be on top of the all decision making. He's 74. He doesn't have to do that. But he is doing it. Transformational leadership style. Not going and asking aise karo, waise karo, ye karo, wo karo. No. Like, I will do it the way I do it. I'm going to do the way I do it. You will get inspired yourself, man. And the day I asked you to do something, I'm sure you would do it for me. That's transformational leadership style. Building relationships, strong, trusting relationship with the followers and employees. They act as mentors and coaches. They develop people, right? What drives them is ideas, thoughts, sharing, strategic work, purpose, right? That's what they're doing. And final is the outcome. Outcome is increased innovation. They want creativity. They want employee welfare. They want people to be engaged. They drive a long-term success of the organization. No, Ajay, I'm not 74. So you can't like me. I'm as lazy as you. I just act so heroic in the mornings for you. I'm the laziest person you'll ever know. मुझे भी बहुत energy चाहिए आगे. I just act cool during these sessions ki, see, I'm waking up in the morning, abhi jaake so jaunga main. I'm just joking, but I'm very lazy. Creating and sustaining strong corporate culture. Absolutely. Some of the big differences between the two are there, but the main thing to remember is transactional is about operations, works, processes. Transformational is all about the style, the inspiration, the mentorship, the coaching, right? Transactional will be really successful for short-term goals and short-term achievements. Transformational leadership style will be more beneficial, will be better from a long-term employee welfare perspective. Long-term employee welfare is what is more important for transformational. Transactional के लिए तो short-term growth you will see anyway. Why limited innovation in transactional as the result oriented? Yes, they set the process, they tell you what to do. So innovation to sirf nahi hogi na. Innovation comes when everybody shares ideas. Innovation comes when everybody feels included. Everybody's part of the decision making. That is where the innovation happens, my friend. Okay, very nice. Let me ask you, you guys want to take a break of 10 minutes or we continue? All right, everyone, we are back. I'll wait for 30 seconds for all of you to join back as well. And then we start with strategic control, which is going to be the second last topic for us before we go to KSFs. Which leadership is beneficial? Both in organizations which are going through strict change. I'll come to that. Great question. Okay, Shravani, let me ask the class this question, which is very interesting and important question. Okay, cool. During turnaround, during turnaround strategy, which of the leadership styles do you feel is more relevant? During turnaround strategy, what kind of leadership style do you think is more relevant? A lot of people saying transformational style, transactional style, transactional. I would also say transactional. क्यों? During turnaround strategy, the more beneficial leadership style is transactional. ये देखो क्या लिखा है. Effective for maintaining stability and achieving short-term goals. Turnaround, short-term goals चाहिए हमें. It helps in maintaining or reaching stability. Transactional. What kind of leadership style is beneficial for diversification? Diversification के लिए कौन सा leadership style is more suitable? Absolutely, my friend. You're focusing on long-term and innovation. Has to be transformational. So, Shravani, you got your answer. Which of the leadership style is more beneficial? Depends on the strategy. Depends on the strategy, my friend. जैसी strategy होगी, वैसा leadership style is relevant. You cannot just say one of them is beneficial. A transformational leader can't do things that a transactional leader can. I'll give you another example. Let's take a case scenario example. There is a company which is working on a digital transformation. Listen to me very carefully, my friend. There is a company working on a digital transformation. It's been 3 years, but the transformation is not getting completed. It has been 3 years, but the transformation is not getting completed. The company decides to hire a new person to manage this transition to a new digital platform. What kind of leader should they hire? Transactional or transformational? You may hate the transactional leader. Okay, you're right. Everybody says transactional leader they should hire. We may hate a transactional leader. We might not like a transactional leader, but my friend, the truth is real short-term action happens with a transactional leader. People might hate that person. Like, इतना micromanage है, इतना processes है, इतना workload है. Sometimes it's necessary for organizations to bounce back, right? And when the organization is good and working and thriving, the employees will also make a lot of money. So my friend, transactional is what makes sense in such situations. So there's no good and bad. Transactional is better than transformational in such a scenario. Simple. But counter to this, my friend, when you're bringing about, okay, it's been 3 years, it's not working, you get a transactional, okay. But the counter thing to this is, my friend, when you're starting a digital change, which is going to take 2 years, when you're starting a digital transformation of your entire organization, and it's going to take 2 years, what kind of leader would you hire? यार 2 साल लगेंगे इस पूरे प्रोसेस को, कैसा लीडर होगा जो लीड करेगा ये प्रोजेक्ट? Transformational, because you have to keep people motivated, because you have to keep people engaged, you have to keep people long term culture. So when you're starting a process which is 2 years long, you need a transformational leader. But if that's not working, the same leader either has to become transactional, or the company needs to hire a transactional leader. The same leader can also become transactional as well for particular jobs. And the best leader, my friend, is a person who can do both. The best leader is somebody who can do both of these things. Time आने पे transformational, time आने पे transactional. एक leader जो ये दोनों चीजें कर सकता है, that leader is the real, जिसे कहते हैं ना, the best great leader. Okay. Leader is transactional and transformation at the same time according to the scenario. Like if the company has short-term goal, transactional, absolutely. The same leader has to switch their gears or switch their style. It's a leadership style. So the same leader can also have the two styles depending on the situation, depending on the ask of the organization, my friend. Okay. Very nice. The process of control, strategic control. होता क्या है? Strategic control क्या होता है? What is strategic control? What is strategic control? Who will tell me what is strategic control? Proper strategy at proper time. ठीक है? Almost close. Almost close. Analysis of what has happened. Okay. Controlling the core management aspect. Okay. Let me give you an example. How are you controlling your timetable for studies? How are you controlling your timetable for studies? Ki if you're on plan or not, how are you controlling that? Are you on plan or not? Absolutely, Ritika. That's the right answer, but that's a theoretical right answer. But okay. How do you check if you are on your timetable or not? Absolutely. हार्दिक से मम्मी बता देती हैं. ठीक है. See the difference between planned and actuals, comparing with the past by being focused and making short targets. Having a mummy bata deti hai is also a control process, my friend. You got to have somebody who keeps a check on the plan. कि बातें बड़ी बड़ी कर रहे हो, काम कुछ कर नहीं रहे हो. Strategic control, my friend, is to check and ensure things are working as they supposed to be. See, 4 chapters and the 5th chapter till now has all been about what's the best way to run a business. ठीक है? Abhi tak we have learned what's the best way to run a business. Oh my God, this is how you got to run a business. This is how you do. This is the best practice, the best leader, the best strategy, the best this strategic BCG kar lo, ADL kar lo, ये सब कर लो. ठीक है भाई, सब कर लेंगे. Thank you so much. We will do everything. Once we start doing, do we really need to do it? 1 second, am I doing it right? 3, is it giving me the results? 4, what do I need to change? 5th, how? That is strategic control, my friend. Big talks, big dreams, big aspirations, a vision, a mission, an intent, a value. Very nice. होने चाहिए. होने चाहिए. There is somebody who has to keep a check on whether it makes sense or not. Whether it is making sense or not. But your vision is, think about this, my friend. Think about this. Your mission, let's say your mission was to become the best fintech company in India. You're making a startup with UPI and all of these credits and all of that. You want to be the best fintech company in India. 2 साल तक you're working on becoming a fintech company. Then you merged insurance in your fintech app. You are also offering insurance. And today, your entire marketing focuses on selling insurance. अब ठीक है, मतलब चलेगा, you make money. Do you really want to do insurance? Did you really start to do insurance? The answer may be no. But do you want to continue doing insurance? The answer could be yes. Do you understand what I'm saying? Did you, after 2 years, you sit down and feel, dude, we did not even start with the idea that we will sell insurance. But today, our core business is becoming more like an insurance company. More like an insurance company. But, क्या हुआ? कि after 2 years, our question is, do we really want to be here? The answer is no. But do we want to continue this because we are making good money? And I think I can really make more money. I see an opportunity here. Do I need to now go into the insurance industry? The answer could be yes. That is strategic control, my friend. Strategy को control तो करो. Control your strategy. If it's right, is it right strategy? Is it wrong strategy? Is it working? Is it not working? Does it need a change? Do we need to change things around my strategy? The answer is yes and a no. My strategy is today, my friend, listen to this again very carefully. You guys can hear me, right? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. I don't see a lot of chat. So I'm confused. You guys are following, right? Okay. Yes, no, whatever. Awesome. Okay. Now, let me give you an example. I tell you, let me pick up somebody. I say, okay, I have somebody and I tell you, why don't you start a cosmetics company, and open stores in the premium malls of all the cities. I'll get you funding. I know some people, they will give us about 50-60 crore rupees. Let's open about 30-40 stores, like 50 plus stores across India in every premium mall. Cosmetics का एक कंपनी खोलते हैं, स्टोर्स में और दुकान खोलते हैं. Malls में let's open stores. Do you think that will work? You can be honest. Might work also, might not. What do you think? You're saying waste of money and time. No, maybe, maybe not. No. Okay. But my further question, my friend, is very simple. For me, it's working. For me, it's working. I opened 20 stores in the next 2 years. After 2 years, as I sit down and see, listen to this very carefully, my friend. Listen to this very carefully. It's working for me. I opened 20 stores. After 2 years, I sit down to see the performance of the stores and I figure out. After 2 years, opening 20 stores, I figure out it's working for me. But now a lot of brands which I'm selling in my store, I am selling in my store are also selling online. Are also selling online. Should I continue to open 30 more stores or should I also switch to online? My question is, after 2 years, I sit down and see the performance of my stores. I figure out it's declining and I have 30 more stores planned. But should I now go online or open 30 more stores? Switch online. सब लोग कह रहे हैं अब इतना तो कॉमन सेंस लगाओ यार, स्विच ऑनलाइन करो ना, हमसे क्या पूछ रहे हो? People are saying like this is common sense. Okay, now what is strategic control? What is strategic control? This process of sitting down after 2 years to analyze where am I going? Am I on my mission? Am I on my vision? Am I on the right track? Am I doing the right thing? And do I need to go deeper into the business, into my vision and mission, or do I need to change? This process, my friend, is called strategic control. Do you now understand what is strategic control? Yep. Very, very nice. Now you understand what is strategic control. Let's get into more theoretical thing of what is strategic control. The objective of the business system, which could be operationalized into measurable and controllable standards. The process of control has the following elements. पहले तो पूरे business को measurable objectives में break down करेंगे. We'll break down the entire business into measurable standards. And then we'll measure them. And then we will measure them. We will compare the actuals to the standards of the industry. We will detect for deviations from the standard and for learning new insights in standards themselves. Standards, find variances, work on the variances, and keep reviewing our standards as well. Those are the three things we will do as a mechanism for organizational upliftment. Okay. A mechanism for feeding back corrective and adaptive information and instructions to the system for effective and desired changes. You got to bring change into your strategy as well. How do you do that? Is by understanding what's happening, what's going to happen, where am I going, what have I done right, what have I done wrong, what's the next best thing I have to do. All of that is part of your strategic control. Okay, that's going to be your strategic control. There are four elements. There are four elements of strategic control. Number one is premise control. Okay, premise control kya hai? This is focusing on the underlying assumption behind the organization's strategy. It's about checking your assumptions. If the assumptions are right, then good. If not, the strategy might need adjustment to reflect the changed reality. Example. Let me give you an example. What is premise control? You start a business thinking the next big trend is going to be XYZ. Okay. Let's say the next big trend we assume is going to be a particular sport. Okay. Let's say you are a manufacturer of table tennis rackets and you feel the next big sport in India is going to be table tennis. Every person will play table tennis in the next 5 years. That's your assumption of a business. You build that assumption, you start manufacturing more rackets and balls, you open up in a factory, you invest your money, you do all of that. That's your premise. The premise, the underlying assumption of is no longer, and nobody plays it as much even before. Ab to aur bhi kam log ho gaye hain, and I don't think it's going to pick up more now. I think it was a wrong assumption of us. do that business, maybe the assumption as a location where you open your store or business to as big as the overall business itself. Maybe a premise control, random example I'll give you. Maybe Domino's says, okay, we're going to open a lot of stores, let's say I'm just taking an example, maybe Madhya Pradesh, just for an example. Okay. We will open 100 stores within Madhya Pradesh itself. That's an underlying assumption, thinking that the income of Madhya Pradesh is increasing, the number of middle class is increasing in Madhya Pradesh. There's a study that the number of middle class are increasing. People would want to spend more on branded food and all these like things like pizzas and burgers. So they plan to open 100 stores in Madhya Pradesh. Okay. Now, after let's say 6 months, they hear that a lot of corporate companies which were coming to Madhya Pradesh are now going to Chennai. एक न्यूज में पता चलता है कि a lot of corporate companies which were earlier coming to Madhya Pradesh are now going to Chennai because of some political thing. Would you still open 100 stores? The answer is no. How do you know that? Because your underlying assumption changed. Your underlying assumption of building on investing in a business changed. That is called premise control. Keep checking your assumptions from time to time. If your business is based on certain assumptions, keep checking those assumptions from time to time. If they're changing, you need to change your strategy as well. That's called premise strategic control. Number 2, strategic surveillance. Strategic surveillance control means reading a lot of magazines, reports, attending conferences, listening to intelligent people, identifying trends, emerging trends, reading news, articles, talking to a lot of peers, looking at what competitors are doing, just observing, reading, and absorbing a lot of from the external environment is called strategic surveillance control. Keep your surveillance on, keep yourself aware of what's happening around you, right? That's called strategic surveillance control. Read a lot of stuff. Number 3, special alert control. This is a rapid response system. Keyword. This is a rapid response system used for unexpected and significant events, right? It deals with situations that would drastically impact the organization's performance, survival. That's called special alert control. Like, for example, okay, if I have a factory in Japan, okay, let's say I have a factory in Japan, how likely it is that the factory will get destroyed in an earthquake? How likely it is that my factory is going to get destroyed in an earthquake? My factory is in Japan. I want you guys to answer. Rather looking at me, I'm looking at you for answer. Highly likely. Highly likely, but the infra is strong, right, Hardik? Earthquake to aayega, but the infrastructure is very strong there. But still, बाकी रोड वोड तो टूट सकती है भाई, कुछ भी हो सकता है. लाइट जा सकती है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जा सकती है for a few days. There can be a tsunami, they're highly likely situations. So strategic control means a special alert control is you got to be prepared for the drastical impact, right? The special alert control keeps you on your toes that this can happen. If you have a shipping company, most likely there's storms at the sea. It can be really difficult for the ship to reach the port on time. Special alert control on rehna chahiye. That's a strategic control. If this doesn't happen, what do we do next? What's the kind of cost we have to bear? What's the kind of things we have to do? It's called special alert control. Number 4, implementation control. This control monitors the actual execution. It's an implementation control. What you said, are you doing the same thing or not? Are you doing the things that you said you would do to execute the strategy? The question is, are you doing the execution that you promised to do? Yes or a no? If yes, then good. If no, then time to do that. Then it's time to do that. Okay. That's called implementation control. So premise control, strategic surveillance, special alert control, and implementation control. Strategic thrusts means strategic problems or strategic like one-timer impacts. Thrust means dhakka, Shravani, right? It's like a push. Somebody pushes you from the stairs, it's a thrust and you fall down. Those are called strategic thrusts. Okay, very nice. Strategic performance measures. Strategic performance measures, the SPMs. Absolutely isn't. Because of the environment, because of the geopolitical, because of the geographical thing, they do a lot of innovation, and that's true. Okay. The last topic of the syllabus, strategic performance measures. Now, a company's performance depends heavily on execution of the strategy, and it really needs to outperform itself against the competitors and execute things really well to do all of this. Now, executives in different roles should explore about utilizing the strategic performance measures. Okay, now SPM. What is an SPM? Strategic performance measure hota kya hai? An SPM is a method that increases the executive's understanding of the organizational goals and offers a continuous system of tracking progress towards the overall objective of the organization. Okay. Now, strategic performance measure होता क्या है? Example लेते हैं. What is strategic performance measure? For a sales organization, what is a strategic performance measure? Tell me. What is a strategic performance measure for a sales team? Sales team का strategic performance measure क्या होता है, my friend? Maximum sales revenue, order booking, orders लेके आना, maximum sales to customers, right? Customer attraction towards product, right? Maximum sales, maximum sales, maximum sales. Very nice. Awesome. Okay. So when a company is a sales organization or the sales team's target or strategic performance measure is sales. Sales team ka strategic performance measure, a measure which a common language that everybody understands as like this is what we have to deliver. And this is against what our performance will be measured. This is the metric against which our performance will be measured. That's called strategic performance measure. Okay. The thing against which your performance is going to be measured is your strategic performance measure. That thing particularly is called strategic performance measure. For sales team, it is your revenue. ठीक है जी? Now, let me ask you another question here. For a marketing team, what's a strategic performance measure? For a marketing team, what's a strategic performance measure? Promotions, how many new customers reached, new customers, new products, advertisements, brand recognition, absolutely. Brand recall value, people know the brand, how to influence the customer, right? Branding and labeling, online marketing, very nice. International marketing, okay? Okay, very nice. All answers are right. Marketing team. Another question for you. The company has a lot of sales. The company has a lot of sales. Okay. कंपनी की तो बहुत ज्यादा सेल्स है. Shravani, it's in your system. You're the only one who's asking for it. For everyone, it's fine. So maybe check your network once, okay? I've seen it's just you. I've checked it. Okay, coming back. The company has a lot of revenue. The company makes a lot of money, but the profit is only 2%. The profit is only 2%. The company does a business of, let's say, 10,000 crores. The profit margin after all costs is just 2%. What should be the strategic performance measure for such a company? Cost reduction? Absolutely. The strategic performance measure for such a company will be cost reduction. How much cost are we reducing? वो रोज चेक करना पड़ेगा उनको. वो उनको रोज चेक करना पड़ेगा. And they have to incentivize people. They have to reward and recognize people who are helping in cutting costs. They have to reward and recognize people who are helping in cutting costs so that their overall cost is reduced and their profitability increases. Right? That's your strategic performance measure. That is your strategic performance measure, my friend. इसको बोलते हैं strategic performance measure. Do you understand? Very nice. Now, strategic performance measures can be divided into further functional level or into different categories. Okay. Strategic performance measures can be divided into different categories, like a financial measure, like a customer satisfaction measure, like a market measure, employee measure, innovation measures, and environmental measures. Okay. Now, financial measures are basically tracking profitability and ability to generate income, like cash flows, revenue. Like customer satisfaction measures are like gauging customer happiness and the loyalty. Would they come back and buy the product again? The customer, how many times is the customer buying a product? Market access or market measures is assess competitiveness in customer acquisition. Okay. Assess competitiveness in customer acquisition. Employee measures, evaluate employee satisfaction and retention, is going to be your SPF. Strategic performance measure is all about evaluating the employee reduction, employee satisfaction and retention. Assess competitiveness and other customer acquisition is part of the market measures. For strategic performance measures, innovative or innovation measures are basically track ability for teams to develop new products. And finally, environmental measures is to assess the impact on the environment that the company is putting on, the efforts to keep the environment clean, to keep the surroundings clean. Is what the company doing? Is the company good at it? Yes or no? Checking that measure is called strategic performance measure. What is holistic measure of strategic performance? Please say. The holistic measure is none. Generally, it's revenue, I said, but generally it's revenue because growth of top line, the growth of revenue is something that drives the business crazy. Okay. However, you have multiple layers, what we just saw under strategic performance measures. Okay. More likely a triple bottom line framework. Yes. Clear till now? Okay. Holistic means all inclusive. Holistic means all inclusive. Okay. Now, how to choose the right strategic performance measure? How to choose the right strategic performance measure? Number one, it should be relevant. It should be relevant to the organizational goals and objectives. Okay. How to choose a strategic performance measure? Number one is relevance. It should be relevant to the organization's goals. Number 2, data availability. You should have ample data to analyze whether that strategic performance measure makes sense or not. Once you have the data, understand the quality of the data that you have to analyze a measure or a strategic performance measure is ample and accurate and is reliable. Check the data quality. And then data timeliness. Can you get the data on a regular basis? Because you will have to check your performance on a regular basis. It's not a one-time task. It's a regular task of checking whether you're on track or not. Can you get that data on time to see if you need to change your strategy or you're going to be the same track? So you need to have relevance. It should be relevant to the organization's goals, data availability, data accuracy or quality, and data timeliness. 3 चीजें डेटा से रिलेटेड आप चेक करोगे when you're preparing a strategic performance measure. When you're creating a strategic performance measure, this is the kind of things that you have to take care of, which is relevance, data availability, data quality, and data timeliness. See, is it clear? All right, 9:15. Let's get into Q&A. Let's get into Q&A. The syllabus is complete, my friend. Your entire thing is complete. Okay, importance मैंने पहले ही आपको strategic उसमें बता दी थी आपको performance measures में. Why is it so important? Sravani, I already told you the importance of strategic performance measures. It helps you analyze if you're on track, right? It helps you analyze if your performance is delivering the desired results of the organization. Again, let me tell you, my notes, my slides are all for revision. Study material से exam आएगा. The exam will come from the study material, so you have to study the study material irrespective. That's for sure. For us, the syllabus of strategic management, my friend, is now complete. The process of the subject of strategic management for us is complete. Okay. Tomorrow's class is going to be full test, full revision, all 5 chapters together. I am still here. Any questions, any doubts you have, happy to answer. Our syllabus is complete. Tomorrow is our final big revision class. We do model test paper. We will do a revision test paper. We will look at the previous year, a previous attempt question paper, right? We'll do that. Strategic surveillance. What is strategic surveillance? पढ़ाई करो, surveillance करो, magazines पढ़ो. Read magazines, what's in the mint, newspaper पढ़ो, what's happening, what's the news around your industry, attend conferences, read on the internet, talk to your friends, talk to your competitors. That is strategic surveillance. Strategic surveillance versus milestone reviews. Milestone reviews are basically when you probably say after 3 months, this is when I want to check this. Another after 3 months, I want to check another thing. That is your milestone. After every milestone, you check yourself where I am. Let's say 50 stores खोलने थे. After every 5th store, you relook at your strategy again. Am I doing the right thing? 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 After every 5 stores, I will do a milestones review till I open 50 stores. That's called milestone review. Yes, I'll get the exam papers. Shravani, for sure, we'll do that tomorrow. We'll do exam papers, we'll do RTP, we'll do MTP, mock test का मिल जाएगा तो भी ठीक है. ले लेंगे, suggested answers करते हैं. And I'll bring some tough questions as well for you if time allows me. So you got to revise for tomorrow is what I'm saying. It's not going to be easy. Tomorrow ke baad probably it'll be difficult for you to reach out, though you can still post your questions on the BOS app, ask me question tab. You can send out your questions. Me, the senior faculties will be there to help you for sure. Okay. From my side, the syllabus is complete. It's just revision now, which we will do tomorrow. And tomorrow I will confirm you, right? Tomorrow I will confirm you if we have more class. Most likely not. I'll try to wrap up tomorrow only. So be present tomorrow for sure. Holistic measure example. Holistic measure is something that covers everything, Tameshri. Holistic means covering everything. Holistic measure. Okay? Absolutely, Hardik. Go ahead. I'm very active there. Reach out. Awesome. Ajay, I just hope you don't have to see me again, at least in LVC. I want you to clear your exams, go to the final, and I'll see you in the finals. Or probably you will see me in the finals. Very nice. Any questions, any doubts, feel free to ask. What is mature matrix? There is nothing called as mature matrix. Mendelow's matrix hota hai. Where are you reading mature matrix? A matrix structure. Under matrix structure is reading mature matrix. Oh, okay. So when you have a matrix, we were talking about the matrix structure, right? Wherein the services and the businesses collide and it creates a matrix structure where you have verticals and then you have horizontal, they mix together. When it matures, like think about companies like a TCS, Wipro, Infosys, HUL. These are big, big companies. These are huge companies across the globe, across the regions. What they do is when it matures, it becomes more efficient, but it has its own problems like dual line of authority, multiple work, multiple people doing duplication of work. ये सब आता है. But a mature matrix really builds a lot of efficiency in the system because it goes through a long process, it goes through a lot of checks, but again, time consuming है, but really helps. Co-generic and horizontal difference. Horizontal is part of co-generic. Co-generic is a related business. Horizontal is just related, but in the horizontal level, Tambeshri. We've done we've done more than an hour on this. You would have a lot of examples in that session if you attended. How political aspects are managed through strategic performance measures. Well, they can through environmental, through employee related performance measures. You can probably do, let's say, if you are managing your environment performance measures really well, you might not get a lot of political problems because a lot of political groups might not come after you saying, oh, you're doing this bad to the society. Or if you're very ethical, you have not bribed any ministries or the system, then probably you're very clean as an organization, and that is your performance measure. That I want to be ethical. I don't want to do wrong things. That's your performance measure, that you do not allow people to do unethical work. When you do that as a performance measure, political pressure automatically goes down. It's all subjective. See, this subject is so interesting because you will see so many versions to the same thing. Okay, I'm really excited for tomorrow. It's going to be a full subject revision, and maybe that'll be our last class. I'll confirm you that tomorrow for sure. So with that, let's wrap up for today. It's 9:23 and 24 ready for me. I'll give you back 3-4 minutes. Okay. So with that, see you tomorrow for the revision class. Thank you, everyone. Very excited for tomorrow, and be prepared. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.